Welcome to the Not So Serious podcast. I think it's a podcast. And we're going to be talking about some more comic books. Stay tuned. Let's do this. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Hadouken. And with that, we are going to talk about our little adventure at Tate's Comic Books, where we somehow ran into something that had a bunch of discounts. It was like a little festival over there. I didn't know it was happening. Did you?
It was like an anniversary thing they were having. I thought that was just last weekend, but I guess we caught it on the right week.
And on that note, before we show you everything we got, let's do a quick cheers. Cheers. We're going to show you what we did buy. Jim, I'll give you the honors of showing one of the comics you
I
first
feel honored. So we were looking through the pile, and then we found this amazing, cool comic. So this is called Shadowhawk, right? Does this remind you of anything or anybody? Yes, it reminds you of Batman, right? No, not Batman.
Wolverine,
right? So we decided to grab it because it's a really iconic comic. It's got a really cool art inside. This was made by Image Comics, and I've already read a couple of the issues. I don't know if you can see some of the artwork there. Should I say how I feel about it?
Well, I'll say really quick. I read some of it when I was little, and I thought it was a disaster of writing. That's what I remember. Bad writing.
But the art was great.
But the art was fun because, live field.
It is your turn.
All right, so
what do we got?
Moving to my section, I've been reading the Scorched series, which is Image. It is the Spawn universe, the new comic book line that they are having. And in Scorched is basically, think of the Suicide Squad, where you have a bunch of members from all the Hell Spawns, including an awesome one that is She-Spawn, right over here. And if you look inside, obviously the art is always magical because Image is just...
It looks like Venom.
Yeah, but this one, like you have like the creative team that does include Tom McFarlane, but the writers are on this one is Sean Lewis, and Tom McFarlane has the additional edits in it. But yeah, definitely check it out. Cool thing is, we are our next cosplay My Way after this Mary Jane one that you should watch now because it's out now. But Electrish will be doing the She-Spawn, so that should be pretty crazy. So I've been doing my research on She-Spawn. Feels like there's not that much material, but Scorched is a good source to take a look at that.
I have this one. Listen. Neverland. So why did I get this, right? I was trying to stay away from DC Comics, Marvel Comics. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but there's a lot of covers that I got here. But there's one thing that I'm not liking about this. Okay, I'm liking these covers. If you look at the art in here, it's kind of mediocre. So what we're looking at here is that the covers are selling the comic. I didn't see all these covers. I just saw one cover. You can't really open it until you buy it. But maybe the story is good, right? Right? It's a grim fairy tale comic books. So the thing that's gonna happen is that you're probably gonna run into really good art somewhere. And right now we're failing on that in the inside of the comic book. But the only thing that can save this is the storyline. So let's hope for the best.
I mean, people always bought the Grim Fairy Tales comics based on the covers. They're always had it's a sexy comic book. It's got a little risque to it. But I don't know. I never really dived in deep to really see how the writing is on them. So I can honestly say I don't really know about it too much except for cool covers. Now the next comic I'm getting is the final puzzle piece to an 8-part series. It is wordy, but every word, the wordiness in this one, Supergirl, it is Woman of Tomorrow. I highly recommend this one. The writing is basically, it is wordy, but every word in there adds to the story, or it gives importance to it. And it is depicted by a girl that is following Supergirl. Some tragic thing has happened, and they go together on this quest to find a killer. And they go to different planets. It's a long journey. This is the final issue. I've only read up to issue 5, I believe, because I can't find 6. So I don't want to continue. So I bought 7. Now I'm buying 8. But I got to find number 6.
Or you could just read it digitally.
Yeah, I could do that. But what's the fun in that? I like to, touch the stuff.
I like to touch too.
But yeah, it's told not by Supergirl, but it's told by the girl that's following her. But it's sick. Basically, I would say the people that would enjoy this comic book would be the people that are into All-Star Superman. If you enjoyed All-Star Superman, then this one is definitely for you. I would have to say it's probably one of the best comics I've read during 2021 and so far 2022. And I give it a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend this one. I've been recommending this one to you for a while. You've yet to even start it, so.
The art here is pretty good. You said that this guy's art was like whose? Frank Miller's?
Frank Miller's, yeah.
So he had like a Frank Miller style. And but listen, I don't know if the story's gonna be any good. We don't know anything. We don't know anything about this, right?
No, now that I know that it's Joe Quesada,
Yeah.
then
Well, he's a legend.
yeah,
so.
now I know it's gonna be good. I'm just not into zombies.
The thing is that when you see the price on there and everything, you can't really see like anything. You can't really see like who's the writer sometimes. So look at this mouth. Look at this dirty mouth. It wasn't like a dirty mouth in their life. So there's that one. There's issue 2. I think I paid like $3 for 4 comics. But the one thing that I do enjoy about these type of comics is that they're comics that are not. I've never heard of them. I want to try different things. I know that DC Comics does great comics. They have good writers. So does Marvel. So does Image. Sometimes it's a hit or miss. But why not try other companies?
We were talking about Joe Quesada, and it's funny because I read a Daredevil. Remember, it's man, the name is a Daredevil. It's like a 5-piece or 6-piece series, and Something Without Your Father. It's a father issue, and it's a lot of memory of Daredevil's father. Anyways, when I was reading it, I was like, this is very it's written in the Frank Miller kind of style, and the art is very Frank Miller. In fact, so much that after I read I was reading issue 1, I was like, oh, cool, this is Frank Miller's art. That's what I thought. And then I started really, finally read it, and I went back to the front, and it wasn't. So it was written by Joe Quesada, and it was written by Joe Quesada.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, remember I was telling you to read it, and then at the same time, you were reading this other one, which is what I'm going to pop up now. The Man Without Fear. So this is the title one. When I was doing those, I said before that when we were doing the Typhoid Mary Cosplay My Way episode, I was doing some research to look for Typhoid Mary, and this is one that did pop up. And I read the first issue, and I was like, this is awesome, but it wasn't really it wasn't very specific on Typhoid Mary, so I went another direction to hunt information on typhoid. But I thought this was really incredible. And just by chance, remember, like I said, I read issue 1, and you just happened to read the whole thing, and you thought it was incredible.
I loved it.
All right, so it's kind of a spoiler, but she is a prostitute that gets pushed out of a window. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That is Typhoid Mary.
What?
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's all. I think that was cool. That's cool that they actually used that character.
Yeah, so that's why it's just a very small segment.
So she never died.
But it's a big segment for the Typhoid Mary story. In fact,
that's interesting, man.
If you can click over here if you want to see the typhoid history that me and Electrish did for Cosplay My Way, so you can see the real history of that whole Typhoid Mary character. I think it's a perfect way to.
Let's just link it at the end.
Click it, and at the end also, yeah.
All right, so we are continuing with Raph Born. Once again, Eddie Lovecraft was like, you know what? I would just leave it. Let me show you issue 2. We got issue 2 right here.
But it's funny because every cover looks like something specific. Like that's the Red Sonja cover right there.
Good colors. We have this one right here.
The X-23 cover.
X-23. By the way, we made that song. We wrote that song. If anybody ever wants to steal it, hit us up. So who are the writers and who are the artists? So we have Marcia Chan. So we have a female writer. That's great. I love that. And we have Joe Benitez. So he's a big deal. So anyways, I just like the fact that there's... Listen, I don't know who this girl is. I don't know anything about this female character. But I like the fact that there is female characters out there. Not only because sometimes you can... Oh my God, look at that. Maybe we should put a little sticker on that one. Too sexy for
cosplay.
Thank you for watching the episode. We had a good time. If you want to watch, was it Cosplay My Way?
Yeah, Cosplay My Way.
Check that out right here on the side. And right here, we're going to have a random episode. It will change, right?
Yeah, it can change every week. You know, we have no rules. We can change anything.
Every
anytime.
day, every hour, every minute. Change it every minute. Why not? But don't forget to follow us on Instagram, and also don't forget to go to these conventions and check us out. Not So Serious Show.
See y'all there.